Supporting carers. What is a carer? It's impossible to underestimate the massive role unpaid carers play in our society. Anyone can become a carer at any time, at any age, and many people don't even recognise themselves as a carer. When people need help with something, they often turn to friends or family to provide support. Anyone who provides that vital support free of charge is a carer.
I care for my mother and my auntie. They are 90 and 88 years old and they don't live in the same household, so there are quite a few challenges about that. They both live independently, but they both have alarms so that I'm always on call for them. They're wonderful, absolutely wonderful people.
A carer could be someone collecting shopping for a vulnerable neighbour, an elderly husband providing round-the-clock care for his wife, or a child supporting a parent battling an addiction. Carers can provide anything from a few hours here and there to 24/7 support. They may not live with the person they care for. They may be in full-time work. They may be young or old. A carer may do a wide range of things for the person that they care for, or perhaps something very specific.
My role as a carer is looking after my wife principally, and it's mainly her memory, reminding her about appointments she's got to keep, about tablets she needs to be taking, even down to don't forget you've got a hair appointment.
There are more than 9 million carers in the UK, offering vital support and saving our economy more than £132 billion a year. Why may someone become a carer? Becoming a carer can happen gradually over time, due to progressive condition or frailty, for example, or it can happen suddenly due to an accident or stroke. Most people become a carer because they love and care for the person they support. Carers often feel that they haven't made a decision to become a carer. It's just something that has happened.
It snuck up on me. I too was a carer and I didn't appreciate it.
The amount of support a carer provides isn't always going to be the same every day. For some carers, it can change drastically from one day to the next.
Well, my caring role over the years has changed. I've had that role for about 35 years. I mean, initially it was for a young baby, and so you administer to a young baby in very different ways to how you administer to a 36-year-old now.
Young carers. A young carer is someone under the age of 18 who cares for a friend or relative. The BBC estimates that there are around 700,000 young carers in the UK. Whilst caring for a family member can be very rewarding and can enhance a young person's life skills, it can also be a huge responsibility. Many young carers struggle with a wide range of issues themselves, such as missing out on social activities, struggling to find the time to do homework, and feelings of embarrassment and low self-esteem.
Well, mostly it's looking after the younger ones while my mum is looking after my sister, but sometimes my mum will have to go out for things to do with my sister and I'll have to sit at home. I'll have to babysit my sister herself, make sure she's going to bed at a certain time, cleaning up her mess, cooking her dinner.
Young carers should not have the same responsibilities as an adult carer. The local authority has a duty to ensure that they get the help and support that they need to continue to have a childhood and to enable them to continue to go to school. Young carers can contact their local Young Carers Service for information about what support and activities are available to them in their area. Identifying carers. Many carers do not identify themselves as a carer for a long time. There are many reasons why people don't identify as carers. Many people feel that they are just doing what is expected of them as part of their role as a partner, sibling or friend.
Well, I don't consider myself as a carer, I consider myself as a parent. And that's the role that many parents are cast into. You don't know the lot you're going to be given by the children that you sire. But nevertheless, that's my role. We never claimed a welfare benefit because we never thought of ourselves as carers at any stage in the development of Sarah. So The role of carer, I mean, today is the first time I've really ever thought of myself as a carer.
Many people are reluctant to ask for help for fear of people thinking that they're unable to cope or that help will be forced upon them.
I think my biggest thing was actually accepting that I am a carer, because it's just what you do for your family. But when you think about all the things you do and what it would cost society if I didn't do it, then I think that does give me satisfaction to know that, you know, it's not just the family that I'm helping, but I'm actually helping in general society by providing that service.
Many people are in mutual caring relationships. They may provide care to each other and be reliant on one another. So their caring role may not be obvious, or they may not identify themselves as a carer, as they also have care needs of their own. Some carers may experience additional challenges to accessing information and support due to their race, religion, gender identity, or sexual orientation. They may face barriers such as fearing or experiencing discrimination, cultural stereotypes and expectations, language barriers, and not being respected or supported in the way that is helpful to them. It's important that services do as much as possible to reduce these barriers and ensure that carers from all parts of our communities are identified, respected, and supported equally. How caring can affect us. Caring for someone else can impact on every area of our lives. It can have a detrimental effect on our health, well-being, careers, relationships, and finances. In a 2017 carer survey, 61% reported that they suffered from depression, 60% said they had experienced a reduction in income, and 40% said they had not had a day off from caring for more than a year.
It's about trying to be everything for everybody, and lose yourself in that you're so busy looking after everybody else that you don't realise that you are struggling. The challenge for me is taking time out for me and having an identity of my own, and work helps me to have that identity. And I think that a lot of people, when they become carers, think they got to lose themselves in it.
Carers often struggle to prioritise their own needs, often feeling guilty if they find their role challenging, or feeling like they don't have a right to complain because they are not the one who is ill or most in need of support.
It's a juggling act at the end of the day for me, but it's a challenge that I enjoy. It can be a long-term task looking after somebody, because it's not going to go away. And I see so many people that are frustrated, that are tired.
I get a lot of satisfaction out of caring for them, in that they were absolutely brilliant mother and auntie as I was growing up, and when I had my own children. So it feels a bit about like giving back.
Without the right support at the right time, the effects of caring for someone else can be catastrophic. However, with the right support, caring for someone else can be hugely rewarding. How you can help carers. 6,000 people become carers every day in the UK. That's over 2 million people a year. Many are brand new to caring, and they may need support with a wide range of things, such as information, advice, practical help, financial help, emotional support, help or support at work, or the opportunity for a break from their caring role.
So trying to make sure that carers do feel welcomed and recognised here has been very important for Pedal Power. And so we've spent time training with staff, making them sensitive to carers, but not picking people out, but being aware of conversations and support that they can offer. And also in our environment here, where there's places that you can sit and where you can chat, we've also made sure that there's information that carers then can access, perhaps quietly on their own, but perhaps in conversation with staff and volunteers who we try and make sure are there to support, but not intrusively, but to be there, to make sure that people feel welcome.
Identifying someone as a carer can often be the first step to getting them the support that they need.
If you ever thought I'm going to predict exactly what's going to happen. You're going to come a cropper. The key thing is to say to yourself, I'm prepared to accept anything that hits me, but I've got advice somewhere where I can go for help.
I think it's very important that people share. They don't try to be perfect. If you try to be perfect, you will fail, because none of us can do that. So it is just being able to share perhaps your worries with other people. And I think there are great organisations out there. Don't be afraid to access them.
You can help more carers to be identified by raising awareness of carers and letting carers know what their rights are and what support is available to them.
We're very lucky. We've got a very good doctor's surgery, and I'm in the same doctor's surgery as my mum and my auntie. So when I've taken them to the doctors, one of the questions they've asked as I'm leaving is, do you need any support? How are you coping? And I've been lucky, I haven't needed the support. But there must be others where you're not in the same surgery, not with the same doctor, and do you get asked that question?
Carers often feel ignored or overlooked by professionals. Ask carers for their input when planning care and support for the person they care for. Respect their knowledge, respect their experience, and consider what they may need themselves. Really listen to carers. They may know the person they care for better than anyone, and their needs can often be closely related to the needs of the person they care for.
If somebody's isolated in their own home, even if it's just a neighbour knocking on the door and asking if they want any shopping, that's carrying out a caring role, and they should recognise themselves as such, and so should the powers that be and society in general.
They don't appreciate that they are a carer and that they are under pressure and they need a carer's assessment.
Carers' rights. Carers have a right to a carer's assessment from their local council, no matter what type or level of support they are providing. A carer's assessment is a gateway to the support provided by a local authority. It is not an assessment of the carer's competency. It is a means of offering support. A carer's assessment involves looking at all areas of the carer's life, what support is needed, and what help is available to them. It also involves planning for emergencies, in case the carer is unable to provide care at any time in the future. Carers have the right to refuse to do certain tasks for the person they care for. They have the right to stop providing care altogether. Requesting a carer's assessment must be done through the local council. Please take a look at the information on our website about the support available in your local area, or contact your local council to request a carer's assessment. In the workplace, carers have the right to request flexible working, the right to request time off in an emergency, and are legally protected from discrimination or harassment if they care for someone with a protected characteristic.
I'm lucky that I've got a really good employer, because I can move my hours around to deal with appointments. Not everybody's in that position.
Carers may also be entitled to benefits and finance support, such as carers allowance, carers credit, reduced council tax rates, or help to pay for household energy and water. As you've heard, carers play a huge role in our society. Caring is complex and takes on many different forms. We hope this video has helped you understand more about carers and how we can all better support carers in our communities. Thanks for watching.